Taking a quick ride out around the pasture, checking the fence, and make sure, see what's going on. Trying to hang on to the handlebars and ride at the same time. We got a couple cows back here and eating a little bit of hay in the shade. Corner's wet and muddy, all the runoff from the woods. Running right across, which is fine with me. Keep it out of the pasture. But what I really came back here to check is I think maybe the rotten beavers have decided to move on because see if I can zoom in a little bit. It's been raining early spring and look how low it's how much it's down. That's so exciting. If they get out of here, go somewhere else. The sun's in the camera. But if they get out of here, the fog, if they get out of here and go somewhere else, then and that opens up another pretty good section of grass with water for cattle. I don't run cows through beaver creeks when the infestation is so high because I had a dog die of giardia and I can't get a straight answer from anyone on whether or not that'll hurt cows. So we have another dam right there. Another dam right there. That the water's right up to the top of that one. So I don't know, maybe they're gonna move up. But there ain't a lot for them to eat upstream from here unless they get out of here. So hopefully they decided that this is not a great place for them. And then we get that 3 acres up at the top. I can only get over there. You can see it was fenced at one point in time. And that was all nice meadow. I can only get over there to bush hog it once a year if I'm lucky. If we go through weeks and weeks of drought, the creek will be down enough for me to get over there and bush hog it. I can't get cows over there because I don't want them drinking that water. Maybe it's okay, but I can't afford to have them get sick from it. And I'm not medicating them, so I don't have an answer on that. But yeah, through here, right through here, one of my first memories of being on this property, first time I raised my own beef, we got like day-old calves, bottle calves, and Ted would make me walk them down here after they were, I don't know, 6, 8 weeks old, and teach them where the creek was on a leash. And that cow ended up hating me. He tried killing me several times, but I don't know. I think it was a funny joke. Old farm man teaching a young city boy how to. That was 20 years ago. About getting him tricking me to walk the cows down here for I think it was 2 weeks. Put a rope on them, like a collar, and then a lead them down here to the water. He always said cows are so stupid they won't find the water. So I don't know, but we get older ones now and they seem to find the water no problem. But so yeah, we used to drive a tractor through there to mow this, and all that was dry. Up in there, it was just a nice little stream through here, and the beavers have just trashed it. So I don't know. Kind of hoping that they get out of here. These right here are all wild blueberries along the edge. So that's kind of nice. It brings in, every year there's usually a swan that comes, and big white swan comes and eats all of them, and you'll find these really large piles of blue bird poop all over the pasture. Kind of nice to observe that. But this right here has always been overgrown. Can't mow any of that. Over there, right up to this creek edge, can't really tell. That used to all be mowed. It's all underwater. So even if we got cows over there, there's only that little section. Not worth the effort and the risk, in my opinion. But if I could get them over there, that would be great. And then fence is all up. I'm watching that while yapping and looking at the phone. But I'm going to get some posts, drive them in the ground. In this section right here, I'll run cattle. I'll run the cows on it. I figure this isn't real big, but I should be able to get a day 5 times a year out of it. So it doesn't seem like a lot or even worth putting the fence up, but every day that they're out of the other pastures is a day, that an extra day or two that the grass can grow. Come back, a little bit more recovery. Instead of mowing this, there's no reason not to let cows eat it. Yeah, probably 2 days, 5 times a year. So 10 days. 10 days of free feed and improvement. This was let go to, it was pretty weedy and brushy. And I started mowing it last year. I hit it in the spring, and then hit it in the middle of summer, and then hit it again in the fall, and it's all grassing right up. So if we were able, or if I had confidence that beavers wouldn't kill my cows, I would I'd fence an alleyway right out through here, clean that brush out straight across. They could drink out of that creek, and have that big section up there. That I know could get me, another 10, 15 days a year of grass every day, cow day that I can get them off the other grass. The more biomass I get, the more feed I get out of it. So when you're playing with small acreage, even though the herd size is smaller, every little bit starts to add up. So maybe I'll cross that this year with them. Well, I can't get an ATV over there. I can't get my tractor over there. Can't get my mini truck over there most of the year. So that's the other reason it's not fenced. I don't want to put waders on and walk across that one fence post at a time. There are some over there, but I guess I'm just old. This section right here, even when the beavers weren't there, it was really kind of swampy, and it could mow it, but it was a lot of switchgrass that the cows ain't eating it, so Don't really care about that section too much. That's good for frogs to live in, whatever. But see, they dammed it. They dammed it right there too, and that's really flooded this. We'd have from this bank, we'd have a nice 10 foot of okay. Maybe a few hours a year you could let cows on it, but they've dammed that up. I don't know if they're moving back there or what, but their destruction has been going on for 8 years, and the state does give us a trapping permit, but I'm not allowed to trap on it unless I go take a bunch of state courses. Bob, he is allowed to trap it, but he's not here all the time. So there's that, and then we were able to hire someone from the state to come out and um, do it, but they didn't like the fact that there was a political sign in the yard and told us to go F ourselves over a sign. That's how crazy people are these days. But there's also, I'll see if I can get a better shot of it. So through right there used to be where all that water's sitting. That was okay, grassland. Could mow it nicely. There is a drainage ditch that runs down through there and drains all that out of the woods. But this section from that body of water strip all the way to all the way all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way to that dead tree. See, I mowed that last year. All that was nice meadow, really productive grass. And the great thing about that was the horses wouldn't go over there when the horses graze this all spring and fall. But in the summer, when the rest of the pasture would start browning up, they would be out there nonstop eating that. So because the soil moisture is a little higher, you get all the runoff from the neighbor's property and those woods, and not enough that it was a swamp, so the grass would still stay nice, but the horses, and when we had a couple cows here before, they'd leave it alone all spring and fall just naturally on their own, and then middle of August when it started getting dry, that's where they would be, and they would rotationally graze that on their own, pretty much right down to the dirt, and then by the time they were done hanging out over there, they'd head back up here. So that was really cool to watch. And then we get up here, down this bank. This section through here, for the 20 years that I've been around here, has always been pretty crappy, just swampy and good frog and snake habitat, a little bit of nature going on. I have mowed this in the past with my tractor. My tractor can mow extremely wet swampland because of the wider tires on it and it's lightweight, but not now, not with it floating like that. We'll come up through here through the cut up. So this we just left open to have passage around the fence, keep the brush down. Um, but up here we open up again. It's not really too steep. It's not real big, but maybe I'll gather some posts and it'll just be a single wire. I can even do it with temporary once cows are trained. Just put them out here early morning and let them chomp that down and then move them back inside the enclosed fence for nighttime. If I did that, I could pick up out of here probably another 3 or 4 days a year. I think I'll do that this year. Temporary fence them, shut everything down except for the wire feeding down to here, so that it's really hot on a single wire. Temporary fence post. And then we have, see, all that water's not draining. It's pushed it back. This was really nice strip down through here about 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. No beavers. We'd mow that in the spring, and it was another midsummer, great grazing, nice grass, a lot of clover section because the horses would stay out of it. It'd be a little wet spring and late fall, but they would stay out of it during those times. Shut this thing off. I'm tired of listening to it. They would stay out of it those times and then keep it mowed. And then they, as soon as a drought would come along, it's not swamp. Didn't used to be swampy, but as soon as the drought would come along, they would move down here for the really good green grass. I mean, that soil is all basically, it's not river run, creek run, whatever. It's gravelly, a lot of organic matter in it. It can pump grass, but the beavers have ruined all that too. And I know they're natural and native, but if I had 500 acres and this little section not destroyed by them or destroyed by them, I wouldn't care. But we're working with small acreage here, so every blade of grass counts a little bit. And to be honest, when raising cows, we get our own beef and almost enough to pay the taxes. So it's not like a big operation, but there it is, all underwater swampland. Thank you, New York State's beavers. Oh, pardon me, just went through. I don't know if you can see it. See if I can find it. Yeah, there it is. Really pretty cool. This isn't my property, but I spend a lot of time down here just for the wild space that it is. And I know beavers are part of wild space, but they really are destructive. There was nice trees back there, maples, oaks, apple trees. They ruined them all, ate them to the ground. Then the banks were really covered in wild blueberries. Those are all underwater and dead now, gone. So I don't love beavers. Can't do much about it, but they whine and cry and complain, I guess. We'll head back out. Video's probably long enough. So if you like it, subscribe, thumbs up. If you don't like it, sorry.